A cheap, addictive game on Steam proves that it's not always about graphics, and I never thought I'd have so much fun turning into a vending machine in a dystopian, cute, abandoned shopping mall. This and more with Play and Tell. So welcome back, guys, to another episode of Play and Tell. I'm your host, Xander Skullion, where I talk about games I've been playing and leave little short impressions and mini reviews, and most importantly, when you walk away, you have something new to play. Vampire Survivors is a game by definition. It's all about gameplay, not always about graphics. Matter of fact, just showing you footage of this game, I'm pretty sure it's not going to convince you to try this out, and you might put this off as some cheap Steam shovelware. But this game is fun and addictive. It's interesting because you're moving your character and they automatically attack. Before you know it, you're trying to stay alive and mow down as many monsters as you can. Now, the monsters you defeat, you collect orbs, and the more orbs you collect, you can actually level up and customize your character build with status and upgrades and weapons. So far, you gotta try to survive for at least 30 minutes to win the game, and trust me, it's no walk in the park. It's like a bullet hell gameplay roguelike formula that's surprisingly great, and it's only $3. Plus, without it being a graphically demanding game, even a potato computer can run this. Check out Vampire Survivors. Wife Quest is an interesting game. It's a hack and slash platformer, and what made me really excited to play this, of course, was the art style and gameplay. But the story itself is kind of strange. You play as a wife trying to save your husband from all these crazy monster ladies, and it's the standard trope in that sort of anime regard. The game itself is pretty decent. It has some weird spikes in difficulty though, that just come out of nowhere. The bosses definitely have that classic retro style difficulty of memorization on character patterns and different movements. And you'll kind of get the hang of it if you've played those kind of games before, but overall, you get what you pay for. This game didn't wow me, but at the same time, I only paid like $6 on the Nintendo Switch eShop. Now, I have hobbies outside of gaming, but one hobby I definitely want to talk about on this channel is I've been really getting back into Gunpla, doing Gundam models. There's just something about it. I mean, I love having those days off when it's kind of raining outside. I make a cup of coffee, listen to a podcast, and start working on a mech. And it's very therapeutic. I really enjoy it, and I highly recommend it. But the reason why I'm talking about this hobby is because I want to talk about this next game, which is an awesome entry on the Sega Dreamcast. Gundam Federation vs. Zeon is a team-playing matchmaking battle game that I really enjoyed. While the game was also released on the PS2 and features English voice acting, I do prefer the Dreamcast port. You guys are seeing it run on the Redream emulator on the NVIDIA Shield TV. The story itself follows the Mobile Suit anime, and even if it's not in English, the main objectives are pretty straightforward. There's tanks you need to protect and posts you need to defend, etc. I've seen many videos about this game online that the online multiplayer is still active with private servers, and I would love to take that chance to keep the dream alive piloting a giant robot. Whether it's the RX-78 or the Red Comet, you're gonna have a good time. Now the next game I want to talk about, it reminded me why I love video games, okay? These games don't come around often. And of course, I'm talking about Kirby and the Forgotten Land. This was a game that, when I was initially seeing the announcement on Nintendo Direct, I was pretty hyped about it. I was pretty excited about it. I've always been a big Kirby fan, but let's be honest, a lot of the last Kirby entries were kind of lackluster, but I felt like they were redeeming themselves with Forgotten Land. And boy, did they. I mean, I haven't played a Nintendo platformer that had this much polish. A platformer in general, this much polish since Mario Odyssey. There's just something about this game. It's safe, but at the same time, it's kind of innovative in the exploration and just the art style of the Kirby universe. I was live streaming it, and I was so happy to have folks witnessing what I was seeing when I was going through this like black light level, and it just looked amazing. It made me think of like going to putt-putt back in the day when, you know, black lights were the big thing. And I had a moment when I was done with that stage that I just sat there in the stream. I didn't say anything. I'm just like, wow, that was fun. And you know, it's kind of nice having new games live up to the hype, because let's face it, a lot of us, when the new releases are coming out, we have these expectations, and even if the game's good, sometimes it doesn't live up to our expectations. But I feel like Kirby and the Forgotten Land has done that and then some. I cannot recommend it enough. Infernax doesn't reinvent the wheel, but keeps it rolling with what Vania fans like myself love about the retro side-scrolling platformer genre. In the first 10 minutes of Infernax, I was faced with a choice to kill or spare someone who asked to die. I chose to kill them, and without a moment's hesitation, my character's mace crushed through their skull, their face mangled with the eyes popping out of the sides as the mace destroyed everything between their nose and cowlick on the back of their head. It's a brutal introduction to the kill or spare choice system, and that was just only a taste of what the carnage I would soon be experiencing in this journey. And each choice tailors your spell selection, ultimately the ending to the game itself. Infernax is a quick and beautiful prologue reminiscent of Castlevania II Simon's Quest, and what this game seems to be heavily inspired by. The game has caliber and polish that rivals some of the biggest releases like Bloodstained Curse of the Moon. From upgrading magic, gear, to exploring the next catacomb to break a seal of darkness, I cannot recommend this enough. Anyway, guys, those are some games I've been playing recently. What have you been playing? Leave a comment below. I'd love to hear some of your recommendations. And hey, if you enjoyed this video, don't forget to subscribe, but also hit the bell so you're notified on all future videos that come out on this channel. Anyway, guys, as always, thanks for watching, thanks for subscribing, and as always, happy gaming.